attorney.
Okay, yeah, I'm recording this first, so this might be out of order. It might be a weird transition into this part, but yeah, hey everyone, we're doing this tier list right now, and I really haven't thought about any of the character rankings beforehand, so we'll be going into this pretty blindly, I'd say. Yeah, or not blindly, of course, because we played through episode 1, but we're going into this pretty much just go with the flow and talk about the characters as they come up. Yeah, that kind of a thing. Um yeah, I probably won't talk too much about my overall thoughts about the game or the plot or my predictions here, as I'm sure I did somewhere else already. So yeah, let's just focus on how I feel about each character, and let's see where they land on this scale. Some characters like Ava here is kind of cropped up because her portrait was so much bigger than everyone else's for some reason, and Kinzo's was super small, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so where do we start even ranking these? Do we start with just the order or ease of ranking characters? Yeah, let's start with at least one super easy one. So, Gora, obviously the worst character in the game so far. I don't think anyone's gonna. I don't think anyone has any problems with that. Uh, I guess I should mention that this tier list is like it even if I place a character in D tier or C tier, that doesn't mean that they're like overall C tier or D tier character. It's just in comparison to the best characters in the game, they are that much lower. So yeah, it's just within Umineko. Okay, so Goda, Goda. He is certainly not a goated character. He is kind of a attention hungry, slimy bastard boy. Works for Kraus and Natsuhi. I do like Natsuhi, and Kraus is very interesting too. But what can we even say about him? He didn't get too much time to shine in episode 1. He just kinda is. I think I should yeah, that's probably better. You guys can see the portraits better. Um how do I feel about Goda? I don't dislike him. I don't dislike him. I do like my like I'm personally the kind of guy who likes evil characters or uh snarky or just plain old like petty characters. That's why I probably praised so much Ava during the episode 1. She's so haughty and so arrogant, but I don't know. I just find that very entertaining myself. Like yeah. Um, that being said, Goda is definitely the worst character and will be the last person on this list ranked or anyways. It's just I do hope he gets more screen time, and I hope they can build his character more to be something other than just a tool used by Kraus and Natsuhi for their power dynamics and politics within the family. I hope he becomes kind of his own person with something to add on to the story by himself. Like maybe he's actually the main culprit. You never know. Okay, next up, to the other end of the spectrum, Genji my goat. So obviously Genji is S tier. No, I'm just kidding. But I think I'm a good fan. Let's put him out yet. I'm actually a big fan of Genji. He's so so straight to the point. He doesn't care if people mock him. He is devoted to his calling and devoted to Kinzo, despite kind of believing that Kinzo is whack, at least from what we gathered, at least on the surface, what was said in episode 1. But at the same time, he's just always there for everyone. I don't think like he has such a good first impression on me, but like I don't see his character having the most growth potential. Like I might rate him highly right now. I might put him in A, S, B, I don't know. But going forward in the story, unless he becomes very central in the story, I don't see him like leaping up the ranks in the future. He might be very much stagnated as a solid good character. Uh, yeah, I do like how he one thing he does bring to the table is he can definitely bring forward the growth of other characters like Shannon or more likely Kanon. He seems like a very good mentor figure to Kanon, and can make. I think his character. I can become more invested in him through getting more invested in Kanon, if that makes sense. But overall, he's a very stoic and very reliable, good, morally good character. And despite what I just said about God and me liking that type of characters, I mean, you can't go wrong with him. He isn't too naive. He isn't the overly heroic hero of the story type of character. He's just the solid backbone who's just like he gets his job done. And for that reason, he's gonna go decently high. He's gonna be the benchmark for good characters. We'll tentatively put him to A for now, but we can obviously change the rankings, the placements later on. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to talk about you yet. I'm gonna talk about you, and you guys. Uh, who else? Now I can talk to you about you whenever. You, I have things to say about you. I have things to say about you. I have things to say about. I feel like yeah, everyone else can be here. I don't know. Okay. Kraus. Or Klaus. I don't know. It's weird. The game definitely says Kraus, but sometimes I hear Klaus. And you know how Japan is with their R's and L's, kind of interchangeable. The first son of Kinzo, the money hungry, power hungry, super scheming, super um, charismatic. Uh, Maybe not charismatic, but oppressive. Definitely imposing personality within the story, at least among other siblings of Ava and Rudolph and Rosa. I I like him less than Genji. I like him less than Genji, but that's not to say I dislike him or like him less than Goda. He's definitely in between. And the only big thing I really have to say about him is I really liked early on his well, sadly we didn't get too much of him either, but I really liked early on his power play and kind of really smart finagling of figuring out how the other siblings are really screwed money wise. So they try to blackmail him, but he kind of turned the tables on them. And I really liked that. That was fun, even though I'm normally not too much into uh, family power dynamics or politics. this I can always enjoy and appreciate when characters flip the tables on others, and that's definitely something that he did. I think he was arrogant, and that's definitely a that definitely came off as a negative thing. But the way he went through episode 1, he only had plus points when it came to plot decisions and character decisions. Like he overpowered everyone else here mentally, and he had a cool secret he shared with Natsuhi. It's a shame he got taken out so early. Well, not early, but like halfway through, a bit over halfway through the episode. Would have liked to see more of him, but again, I'm not really sure how much he can grow as a person, much like Genji. For me, if he takes the central stage, then sure, I'm sure they can make as much more character progression or uh, whatever for him. But as for now, I don't see me raising his position too crazily up in the future. Like, I think for now, he has more potential to grow than Genji. Uh, but I feel like it's gonna be a tough battle to make may put him ever above Genji in the future episodes, but we'll see. The game can definitely surprise me. We'll see where he goes. But yeah, I enjoyed his wits, I guess. Yeah, his big brain plays, and for that he deserves a solid B tier. Natsuhi, my beloved. At first, I didn't know what to think of you. You came off as haughty, not the good kind. Then I felt sorry for you. Then I really started liking you. And at the very end, you kind of fumbled the ball under stress. And then you even went out and challenged Beatrice, which we sadly didn't get to see. And you apparently shot yourself in the head? Question mark. Like, what was that about? Again, I might have figured something out during me later on recording theories, but we'll see. I I really like you. I really like Natsuhim. She out of everyone in the cast that I expected to like or dislike or feel somehow about, Natsuhi was the big black sheep. I didn't expect to love her as much as I did. She's definitely, yeah, I'm gonna put her above Genji. But the real question is, will she go to S tier? Is she our first S tier? And is she our only S tier is the real question. I think for now we can obviously put her here, just to separate people a bit. Yeah, her, I don't know, I just feel it really felt emotionally connected to her. Her struggles with the family, protecting the family, staying loyal, trying to feel appreciated or suffering, being underappreciated or thrown under the bus, reconnecting with Jessica emotionally, and just the overall protective nature of a mother. And also, she had a badass shotgun, so you know. I don't think she did. She didn't do optimal decisions, but I'm not expecting anyone to do those in a game that's all about mental gymnastics, and that's not what I'm expecting either. It's I liked seeing her struggle. No, that sounds weird. Seeing her struggle made me connect with her more. Yeah. Seeing her struggle made me care about her a lot. And for that reason, She's one of the characters who I am most connected with right now, and that's why she deserves currently an S tier ranking, but we might drop her to A tier depending on how we feel about the others. Okay, George, my beloved. So I'm gonna be blunt here, and when we started the game, and I saw George, I was like, okay, George, you're gonna be D tier. You know, he's the morale guy. He has the glasses. He's gonna be the straight guy. He's gonna be the I'm gonna tell how it is. I'm gonna be the good guy. I'm gonna provide useful information and provide logical solutions to things and point out bad things are bad and you made a mistake here. But while that is certainly part of his character, that certainly isn't all of his character. And oh my god, he, out of everyone, was the one who made me cry. I fully teared up during the first set of deaths reveal because of him. And then I choked up a bit later on. I think it was during a couple scenes. One of them was with Natsuhi and Jessica bonding, and the other one was with both of his parents dying with the ice picks. I feel like that one got me a bit too. Not to the extent as the first room in the storehouse. First death in the storehouse. So yeah, I'm way more invested in him right now than I was before. The real question is, where do we rank him? Because I don't know how much he's gonna change as a character. He's gonna stay as George. Okay, one thing we got at the very end in the credits was he apparently prostrated and gave into Beatrice and praised her name. So, there's a chance that we can actually break George's character and mold something new out of Broken George. But for now, I don't think he's in a similar boat as with Genji. He's a pretty sturdy as a character foundation. I do really like that he is the one that got me crying. That's a huge thing for me personally. That this type of character was the one that made me the most emotionally vulnerable in this game so far. So that gives him huge extra points. Now, whether we put him before or after Genji, that I'm not sure about. I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna leave him behind Genji. He's gonna stay in A tier, and he has the possibility to rise above Genji only because he is part of the teens, part of the kid group, because they feel like the most important characters alongside Beatrice. And then, of course, we don't talk about her. I'm sure I will have lots of things to say about her. I don't know. I don't know why. She might be actually a nothing burger character and I'm just overreacting, but it's something about her having white hair and being a big inspiration to, or big motivation to Battler. No, I don't know. Yeah, George has the potential to grow more than Genji, so eventually he can go above him. I'm definitely enjoying him a lot, and I never expected to put him this high. I might even put him to B tier and then lower Kraus to C tier later on, but we'll see. Okay, Ava. This is a tough one because as soon as the game started, from the very beginning, I was Team Ava all the way. But then she just kept doing the same thing and the same thing. She's smart and she very well fits into this game, but she didn't grab me in any other way other than her, her character trope or her caricature, I guess you could say, her base personality traits of being the evil aunt. I guess she had a few lines, a few moments with telling off George or being proud or whatnot. So those are plus points for her, but for the most part, she was very much typical of what you'd expect from her. But her baseline was something that I really, really liked. So like when the game started and when we first met each of the characters for the first time, it's like she was number one for me back then. But she didn't really I didn't really grow emotionally attached to her, much like I did to Natsuhi, Genji, and George. So like, will she drop below them? She probably will, honestly. Ugh. It hurts to put Ava under George. For me personally, I don't want to do it. I want to keep her S tier, highest number one character. What do we do here? What do we do here? I can definitely. One thing she has going on for her is since she stayed so static as a character, I feel like we will get a lot more of different sides of her in the future. And I'm expecting the same thing from Kraus and everyone else who died in the first wave of 6, since we didn't get to see them at the end. We'll eventually get to see them, hopefully, do some other stuff, assuming that they will appear in episode 2, which I think they will, but you never know. I certainly don't. So yeah, I feel like she has the chance to grow, change, or we get the chance to see different sides of her, and that will most likely make me enjoy her more. I doubt I could ever see myself liking her less. It's like I started out really liking her, and my evaluation of her never dropped any further down. Everyone else has just skyrocketed upwards. So like, yeah. That being said, she's definitely above Kraus. Despite Kraus having some great moments, it's nope. There's a big difference between these two. So like, no, I'm not putting Ava down to B tier. God for sake, no, 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 no. But whether we put Ava below Genji and George is a different story. She's not going to S tier. No, I can't. She didn't do enough in this story. She didn't do enough. Like, yeah, she's hot. I mean, I don't know. She's kind of old-ish, so some people might have a problem with that. But milfs be milfs. Uh, but yeah, I'm gonna put her above George. Like as much as George did, his character, its main character, the core of his character still is what it is. So George has more potential as a character than both of these, but she definitely hasn't shown all of her sides yet. I don't feel like. I'm expecting both of them to eventually go above Genji. I just really like Genji, okay? I just really like Genji. And anyone who has a problem with that deserves to be beaten to death. Yeah, by an ice pick. Okay, Hideyoshi. Hideyoshi, my guy. what is there to say about Hideyoshi except that he, of course, belongs into D tier? No, he's one of the characters who didn't get to do much at all, unfortunately. He had some lines. He tried to be a mediator. He got outsmarted by Kraus in that one scene. Hideyoshi isn't, unfortunately, a cute anime waifu. Hideyoshi is probably my second least favorite of the crew, of the cast so far. I think that's fair to say. Like, maybe, I don't know, Nanjo. I mean, Nanjo is just Nanjo, so maybe people would put him above some of the characters here. Maybe some people would really have problems with Maria as a character. I don't know. But yeah, I can't put him above Kraus, honestly. He had one good moment with George in the scene where George really broke down seeing Shannon dead. But that's about it. Yeah, he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be D tier with Godan. I don't think anyone else is gonna go there. Maybe someone else, but not sure. Yeah. Okay. Jessica. What do we do with Jessica? I know one of my friends has a big thing for Jessica, but they love any blonde character, so it is what it is. um, Jessica and Natsuhi had an amazing moment together. After that, Jessica was kind of bad mouthing Maria, probably deservedly so. Before that, she was kind of just yapping. I I mean, the end was good. She had a good moment at the end with Natsuhi too. She was doing great there. Good work from her there. But otherwise, I'm not unfortunately too attached to her. She's a cute anime girl. I'll give her that. And I'm sure she's way more central to the story than what we got so far. Why the fuck does the story decide to give us a random tidbit about her having asthma? Why does that matter? Why do we need to know her that detail in her character blurb, where there's only a limited amount of info you can give about a character? Why do we need to know about that? There's definitely something that there. I don't know, but that's just a game theory. Um, that being said, do we still put her above George? She's above Kraus. My friend is gonna hang me if I put her in the same tier as Kraus. My friend is gonna block me in Discord so fast if I put her in the same tier as Kraus. Oh my god. mm. Out of everyone on this list so far, she has the most room for to go further with her character. She's the most. I feel like she is the most important out of these characters on the board. She will do some crazy shit later on, assuming that all of these characters obviously return. And for that reason alone, she gets some points. I am very excited to see what she does in the future. And she had some good lines. I didn't have any moments where I disliked her, but I didn't really get emotionally attached to her either. maybe a bit in the scene where we saw Kraus die, but like that was more so due to everyone else's shock there, mainly George's. But yeah, can I put her in the same tier as George? I can probably. Like I could do this. I could do this. I feel like I should do this. Yeah. I mean, I have to bite the bullets. My friend is gonna hang me anyways, no matter what I say, because she's not S tier. So there she is. But let's lower Kraus to 1 tier below. So maybe I don't get. Maybe my family will survive the slaughter. Doctor Nanjo. So Doctor Nanjo is the third character I was considering for D tier. Hmm. I think it's a pretty reasonable thing to say. He's a doctor. He's a friend of Kinzo's. He helped solve the way people died a bit, but overall he was just kind of there. He just kind of was there. You could even argue to put him below all of these. I just don't like Goda. And Hideyoshi kind of took L's, but he had one good moment, whereas Nanjo didn't really do much. Yeah, I feel like I don't have much to say about him. Him being a doctor is always sus because, it's a murder mystery. The butler and the doctor, and well, you're not a butler, you're mainly the butler. Butler, doctor, chef, those are the big three of suspicious people inside murder mysteries in a villa, in a mansion setting. So, you know, there's some potential for him to be the evil mastermind, but I don't really see it out of everyone of our group. Yeah, I like his mustache, and I honestly do hope that we eventually get more of him. I would be interested into, like, one of the things about these kinds of stories that I love the most is what happened, for example, with George. I expected him to be D or C tier. Look where he ended up. Who the fuck knows what happens with Nanjo? By the end of the game, Nanjo might be the GOAT. I fucking doubt. I doubt. But I'm he gets all of the characters in D tier get plus points for the fact that I believe in the game's potential, in the game's writing, to be able to make me surprised and love them beyond anything else if the game wants to do that. So yeah, there's a chance for all of them to grow high if the game wants to do that. But for now, the big three of the D tier are these boys. Okay, Kumasawa. Kumasawa. So, are you the actual fucking mastermind of this whole thing? Early on, I was very wary of her because she just had those one-liners or was lurking behind the corners, looking at other characters at the end of chapters. But maybe it was just to showcase her quirk of loving rumors and therefore being kind of present everywhere. Mm. At the very end, she was just a very scared grandma who scared for her own life, who was scared for her own life, and she didn't do much. So she had she was a surprisingly high interest level character for me early on, but the more the episode went on, my interest in her waned more and more. That being said, she didn't have any bad moments. She was involved in some pivotal moments, like witnessing the Natsuhi Jessica moment, and she was present at Kanon's death, which is still kinda. What did you see? What did you see? You were just behind him. So like, sus. And obviously, she has the best laugh in the game. So that alone puts her in SS tier. But for real, we'll put her below Jessica. But do we put her in C tier with Kraus? I don't think we will. I think we'll put her here, where she is right now. I think she is a solid character. I don't think she's gonna grow unless the game decides to make her the villain. I think she's just Kumasawa. She just is. Yeah. As the game goes on, Genji and Kumasawa are gonna get overshadowed by other characters from below. In Hideyoshi Redemption arc, Hideyoshi S tier win. Goda S tier win. No, honestly, out of all of these three, I expect Goda to be the one to rise, despite him being the last. I feel like he has the potential to do so. Okay, Rudolph. Where do we put Rudolph? What the fuck did Rudolph even do besides, say, horny shit? No, he had something he wanted to say, and he talked about masks, and he unfortunately didn't get to say what he was about to say to Kyrie and Battler before he untimely died. There's definitely some mystery regarding him or what he wanted to say. He had some revelation that we'll get to know later on, hopefully. I feel like this would be a fair placement for him. This would be a fair placement for him as well. I don't think I could ever put him in A tier. He's always gonna be below Jessica, whether he's before or after Kumasawa, or in a tier below, or even below Kraus. I feel like all these are interchangeable. One thing I really liked about him was his I guess playboy-ish nature. Like I don't I love my etchy and all kinds of dirty jokes, but I don't think it landed too well with his dialogue. It was mostly just I don't know, kind of out of left field because same deal with Battler. Like the jokes, I feel like they would better fit some other game, but they are part of this game, and I'll learn to love them eventually. It's just this is a 80s murder mystery a thriller with magic and mystique involved, and I'm like, why are we talking about boobs and uh yeah. I don't know. Game has cute waifus, so why not? Well, didn't mean to put her there. Yeah. Um, Rudolph, Rudolph. I feel like we'll put him here. I don't think we're gonna wanna put him in the same tier as Kraus. Kraus can hang alone in C tier, unless no. Okay, Shannon. let's talk about Shannon. So, Shannon, for starters, has huge tits. Do I need to elaborate? No, I do. Um, regarding Shannon's personality, no, the actual personality, um, she's in a similar boat to George. Like, she's a goody two shoes. She's kind of naive, less more than George. George is not really naive at all. She's kind of naive. She's kind of goody two shoes. She's she is just, I don't know. There's nothing to hate about her, but she doesn't have many or any quirks to her character, to her personality. She's very vanilla, so to speak, compared to someone like Ava or even Rudolph. Yeah, like, I don't know. Normally, I'm not too much into these types of characters, but she has the connection with George and the scene in the rain with George basically proposing to her. That got me connected to them too a lot. So that gives her more Points. So I feel like I should put her above these. I kind of wanted to put her above Jessica. I can't, in good honest faith, put her above in the same tier as these three here. And I really don't want to put her above Jessica, but I feel like I should because of my own investment. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really just that one scene in the rain. It was such a good scene. It was probably my favorite scene of the game so far when it happened. Either that or Marianne Rose's fight scene. That was something else. Let's see. Let's see. Shannon. I feel like I'm pretty much on the same. No, I have to keep. Yeah, she had just one good scene. She had so many scenes she was in. So Shannon, you're gonna be below Jessica. Yeah. Okay. Hinzo, the mad lad, the king. Okay. So what did this crazy old man even do? I, as an anime fan, as a huge anime fan, I can relate. I can relate to having a waifu. The man clearly just is head over heels for Beatrice. Other than that, he's a total shitbag. Like, what the fuck, Hinzo? You're just willingly sacrificing your whole family for your waifu. Like, I can respect the grind. I can respect the grind, and I like the fact that you're into black magic, and I like the fact that you're the grumpy grandpa type personality. But other than that, I don't know if I got that invested in you. You were, I think he provides intrigue to the story, and he brings the kind of levity or humor or a bickering, I guess, uh, to the story that you'd really want. So for that, I thank him, and he's all obviously very essential and very core to the whole mystery, being the one who kind of organizes it. So for that, he should get points. But come on, he's not on the same tier as Jessica. He's gonna be in C tier. Like, I recognize and appreciate what he does for the story, but I'm not invested in him yet. They can obviously later on give me a big sub story and huge backstory. Something tragic went down with in the 50s when he met Beatrice or whatever, and then I'll get more invested and put him in the S tier, triple S tier, and praise his name over Beatrice or something. But for now, he's gonna rest here. He yelled at his family. He didn't care for them. He tried to sacrifice them. He plays chess. I can respect that. I feel like he should go below Kraus, but at the same time, he shouldn't. He's too integral to the plot. Like, Kraus had a good moment, which made me like him more as a character than Kinzo, but Kinzo has just so many things other than his personality going for him in the story that alone should put him like above many characters. Maybe we want to do this. I don't know. It feels wrong to put him there. We'll no, I think Ginzo should go above Rudolph. Yeah. Even though the B tier should have the most characters, I feel like this is the most fair right now. Yeah. I look forward to seeing him more or learning more of his past. Either it be through himself or through Beatrice later on. Very curious about him. I'm very invested in his overall story, not himself as a person. Battler, fuck no, we're not gonna talk about you yet. Yes, we are. Are we? No. We're gonna talk about these two before Battler. Rosa and Canon. Rosa. So, obviously, you hate Mario, and we can all respect that. Can we? I feel like that shouldn't be a line that I should be saying. So you slap your children. That's cool. Cool. Domestic violence for the win. That being said, she's hot. She has headaches. No, you have headaches, but you had something similar going on. You probably too had headaches. So you two have some weird plot thing going on. Maybe it's just stress. Maybe not. But there's definitely something going on with Rosa that we didn't get to see at all. And I'm very invested in her in that regard. The scene with Mario, despite it kind of painting her as a villain, I mean, after all we got with Maria towards the end of the game, her being such a bitch, I can respect her more now. It was still a very emotional scene, even if it made her the villain of that scene. I think it's still plus points towards me getting invested in her, and I think she belongs into B tier. Does she belong above Kumasawa or Shannon? I think so. I think she does. I think this is the lineup we want to go for. Like, if this wasn't Jessica, but someone else who I had same investment level, I would put Rosa above them. But because this is Jessica and Jessica is part of the kids, Jessica just has so much more potential going on than Rosa. But Rosa also has huge amount of potential. And all this talk about potential is just basically me saying that I am very excited for their future, and that alone hypes me up for their character and that makes me want to put them higher because I'm curious about them. I'm interested in them. So that's why I talk about potential. Yeah, I feel like this is fair, right? People could argue that she didn't have a positive emotional scene like Shannon did, thus she should be lower or below Shannon. But I think I'm gonna put her here because, you know, I already said my piece about Shannon. Okay, here we have two of the most. How am I supposed to judge these characters of this story? Actually, all four of you. Okay, let's start with Kanon. He's the most straightforward, I guess. Yeah. So Kanon, I'm still fully of the opinion, no matter how much the game tries to use he, him pronouns, I'm still of the opinion that you are a girl for some reason. I don't know why. That's just I just got that vibe. I'm gonna obviously treat you as a guy because the game says you're a guy, but you give very feminine vibes. Now, initially, I need to preface this by saying that I really like him where he is now. Initially, when we first got introduced to him, I wasn't the biggest fan. He was kind of grumpy. I wasn't too sure, too hot on his design, and yeah, I just wasn't feeling his character design initially. Uh, I'm still not sure about his character design, but over the course of for the first episode, he just kept climbing and climbing and climbing, much like George. Though George's was more explosive, just two great scenes that made me really like him. The scene with Shannon in the rain, and then the big cry scene, and I guess later on, seeing his mom and dad uh, die in the rooms was the third big scene for George. But Kanon's me liking Kanon was like it was more gradual, and then at the very end of his appearance in the game, he had a big one burst, one big leap of character growth with his bravery to confront the mysterious person, supposedly Beatrice, the butterflies in the boiler room. So where does that put him? Because initially, I think when we first met him, I would have put him in the C tier. I don't know where exactly. I do recognize that he has obviously huge potential as a character. Like, out of all of the characters in this game so far, excluding Beatrice and the four kids, maybe George, not sure about George, but at the very least, excluding Beatrice, Maria, and Battler, and probably Jessica, Kanon probably has the next most potential to go somewhere. He is such a big question mark in my books. So like that's big hype for him as a character. And I'm gonna put him. Whoa, you don't there. Um, you're gonna go above Kumasawa. You're gonna go above Shannon. You're gonna go above Rosa. But are you gonna go above Jessica? You two had a pretty linear. Well, I started quite liking Jessica, and then she just kind of stayed with one great scene in the middle. Whereas he started low, then he kind of climbed, and then he big climbed. So, am I wrong for this? Am I wrong for this? I feel like He just did so much. He just did so much. Yeah. I mean, it's my tier list. I can do whatever I want. It's just he surprised me so much. So I can't. I can't. I can't. I need to put him here. I want to put him in A tier because of his great ending, but it's just I don't think it's quite enough for me. I think he's gonna stay here with Jessica, tied to Jessica. If we get one more character, Kumasawa is dropping to C tier. Okay, Battler, 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 Battler. What the fuck are you? You are the main character. Are you though? I feel like Beatrice is the main character. What the fuck are you? You are our neutral point of view. The one who doesn't try to scheme over politics or power. The one who isn't the evil mastermind. The one who's been away so we can get a neutral understanding and ask the questions of why are you like that because you haven't seen anyone in many years. That's what you are. You do jokes, but you also had two really good moments in the story. The one scene during the initial death of the 6 people in the storehouse, and then after the boiler room when Kanon had been stabbed in the chest, you ran out and where you basically where we saw you cry, but it was a lot of rain. That got me kind of tearing up. So, or at least I felt a heavy gulp in my throat. So, big points for you there. Still not same as with Rudolph. Not too fan of you. Not too big of a fan of your perverted jokes, but you know, it's we'll get used to them. It's not like it's a negative thing. It's just something to get used to. Eventually, I'll learn to love them. Um, I feel like it's. I need to put you at least A tier. You had 2 great scenes. Actually, no. You had 3 great scenes. At the very end, you were so adamant to be against Beatrice when everyone else was cracking. I feel like that that grants you massive points. Yep. Yeah, that's huge. You're gonna go above George. Above Ava. Okay, am I actually gonna put you above? Am I doing this? Whoa. Whoa, I'm surprising myself. I, I mean, I didn't think of doing this tier list much before going into it, but I was kind of expecting him to be low A, high B. Why is he in S tier? What went wrong? What changed? Where? Huh. Yeah, I think he. Yeah, I know that I think about it. I think he is the most developed and had the most overall good scenes, and I enjoy his chessboard analogy and how he tries to be the solver of the mysteries and how he opposes Beatrice. I think I really like those qualities about him. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, that was a surprise. Sure. We'll leave him there. This I'm really surprised. Why are you still number 1? Why? Okay, Maria. Maria started out as my, I don't know, favorite character until we met Ava. Then she went below Ava. Then she had great moments, so she probably went above Ava. But then she was a huge bitch at the very end, which put her down. But then at the very end, I didn't mind it. Like she was so nonchalant about everyone dying that it kind of grinded my gears. Like I know that everyone's gonna supposedly revive according to Beatrice, but for fuck's sake, please have some tact and let people grieve when the loved ones had just died. But then by the end, I came around to it, and I really liked the final scene where she was just facing the wall, and she also has the lore in her, and she's basically Beatrice's number one minion or something. I don't know. And one thing that's huge points for her is the very final scene of Maria laughing together with Beatrice at everyone else. Like, you guys have no idea how much I love that shit when villains, or supposed villains, I don't know, you're not really a villain, but you know, when the good guys are down in their dumps, the morale is at their lowest, and the goodies' plans have failed, people have just died, and then the antagonists, they just start laughing manically and like being really smug about it. I just, that's so good. That's so up my alley. So the very final scene before the final end credits, that was like massive points. Same league as Canon's sacrifice level points. Yeah, the deal why it's so hard to talk about Maria is because her character went on such a roller coaster with me. Like she started high, then she went a bit low because nothing happened, and then she went above, and then she went really low, and then she came back and really came back. So it's like, where do we even rank her? Where do we even rank her? She belongs in every tier. She belongs in every tier. Hmm. Also, I just realized I only have like hour and 20 minutes to do this because I need to uh, prepare for publishing next video. Um, like based on that last scene, I could alone put her in S tier, but she had negatives. But before that, she had positives. So it's like above Genji, maybe, maybe. I feel like that's an okay spot. People would probably yell me if I put her like B tier or lower. Uh then again, I really don't. I've tried to avoid any contact or any talk about this game and the overall impression other people have about the game or the characters. So like, I'm just kinda expecting that people are big fans of Maria because she's, you know, so early on such an integral part of the story. But you never know. It could be a case that she's actually the most hated character in the community because she's such a bitch and such a brat. And you know, everyone hates kids. No, I'm kidding. But kids in anime are usually. Okay, I just now remembered. Yeah, she's definitely deserves at least this spot because I just now remembered. She fucking jump scared me. I will never forgive her, but it's definitely huge plus points for her. That fucking huge creepy ass smile when she first revealed her that face or the more glazed face, I don't know. Ooh, wow. Yeah, she's gonna be here. We might bump her to be the lowest of S tier, depending on the last placement of the last two. Probably not though. I have a pretty good idea where I want to put these guys, girls. Kyrie, Kyrie. Who the fuck are you, and why are you in this game? Like, What are you doing married to Rudolph of all people? I guess because, I don't know. Are you simply a mentor figure to be learned from? So, like, you are in the story as a setup so that Battler can be the main character, to be the one solving puzzles because he learned everything from you. Is that your role? Is that why you have such a unique role, unique look on your about yourself? Or is there more going on with you? Mm. I'm not the biggest fan of your hairstyle. I'm usually not too big on girls with at least this hairstyle. Some short hairs, like I don't know, sometimes a bob haircut really works for girls. For me, this one, not so much. I do like the silver, white, ash gray hair color, and I like your attitude a lot. You have so much intrigue about yourself. You had 0 bad moments. You had only good moments, but nothing pivotal. That's the only downfall. You had 0 pivotal moments. The one thing is that even after your death, your presence was still affecting the story because of Battler. So that nets you points. I personally would want to put her high, somewhere high in A tier, but I don't think she belongs in A tier. I believe she belongs in B tier. I think this is a good placement for her. Yeah. Ava is too high. I know. It's just personal opinion, you know. Don't kink shame me. I love evil women. She belongs there. That's it. Discussion done. Um, yeah. Kirie can be here. She, intrigue wise, she's up here. Character design wise, some parts are in D tier, some parts are in A or B tier. I think it all balances out nicely to B tier. No, I can't. I can't possibly put her above Kanon, who had such a massive moment. Yeah, can I? If I can put her above Jessica. So I really can't. Yeah, she's gonna be there. Okay, Beatrice, a character who we officially haven't even seen yet. And you know what? I mean, can anyone complain? Now the real question is, do we actually put her there? Do we actually put her there? She's had an amazing build up, and I adore the fact that they didn't even show her character sprite in episode 1. They decided to just have her be butterflies, despite her supposedly reviving, you know? We just didn't see her. Suck to suck. uh, unless obviously she's someone like you or you or you, I don't know. You. Yeah. So like, Beatrice is probably the true main character alongside. No, it's hard to say because Battler is probably gonna stay as our POV point of view character throughout the whole game. But Beatrice is the very core of the game. So like, which one of these two is the main character? It's hard to say. But we have to ask the question, can we really put a character who we officially haven't even met yet in the story. I mean, yeah, we've kind of met them in the form of few lines at the very end, but we really haven't met them. Can we really put that character as the number one character in the tier list above the current main character? Or the character who we grew most attached to? Like, is that even allowed? Is that too meme? Is that too memey? I really want to leave her as the number one character. I really want to do it. But that will render the future tier lists after future episodes kind of pointless, because obviously we will get to know more about Beatrice, and I doubt she will ever go down. So, like, if she's number one now, we all know in the future tier list videos that she's always gonna be number one. You know, unless there's, Ava does something godly, but my rational mind is saying that Beatrice should be here. Emotionally invested, very curious, and somewhat emotionally invested, hot goat, not emotionally invested, but what the fuck even are you? Main character, emotionally invested. Everyone below, not really emotionally invested. You, I'm not emotionally invested in you, but you have the highest what the fuck factor. Like, more than Maria, but we got to know Maria more than you, so it is what it is. Do we do a like do we balance it out, like my spontaneous mind wants me to put her here, rational mind wants to put her here. Do we do a split and put her here? I always say I think of myself as more of a rational person, but the way I live my life is very spontaneous. Fuck it, we roll, save. That's gonna be our tier list. Yeah, you can complain about Goda. I'm so sorry, Genji being so high. You can complain about me putting Beatrice there despite not really getting to know her. Otherwise, I think it's a pretty standard-ish list. Some people would put Jessica tier higher, maybe George lower, maybe Ava too lower. It is what it is, but I don't think there are too many outrageous things beyond probably Beatrice, maybe Genji. I don't know. I feel like Genji is a solid character in everyone's books. Maybe not the most interesting, but I like him a lot. Yeah. So here we have it, the tier list. Fuck yeah, we managed to do it in hour and 13 minutes. Wow, look at us. We are so good. Cool. This could be a video on its own. It honestly might be better to separate this, because I think someone said in my Discord that whatever the tea party and music box or whatever the new stuff we unlocked, that alone might be its own video. So I might push this out together. Yeah, I might push this out together with the finale of episode 1. And then week after that, where I'm gonna do 2 episodes or 2 parts together. One being looking at the newly unlocked stuff, and also at the same time starting episode 2. because as much as these videos are fun to make, I wouldn't want to sacrifice 1 week's worth of making videos just for this and not progressing through the story. I feel like that's reasonable. Okay, yeah. This is gonna be, I guess, its own video, I've decided. Suddenly. Cool. Patreon, early access, up to 2 weeks, link down in the description. Yeah, cool. See you next time when we check out the new stuff and start episode 2. It's gonna be hype. Cool. See ya.